Hi, it's Jess here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm going to bring you a project using a window envelope. Now you might have seen my video. I got a load of lovely envelopes that my son brought me back from America. But I want to practice some ideas on envelopes that I can easily get hold of before I have a go at the multiple windowed ones that I got. So I'm using this. This one has got lots and lots of printing on it, but it's fine because we're just going to cover it all up. So my idea came from Emma Duran's. She posted a picture of, well, there were journaling cards, and then she did a few tags. I sort of instantly wanted to do tags, and I just thought it was just a lovely simple idea. So I thought I'd have a go. So I watched a video and I did it straight away. Watched it yesterday, made this yesterday afternoon. So I'm gonna do it again, and this was just a die cut that I put in there. She used like stickers, and I thought, oh, I need to get on with my flower fairy journal. And so I looked through some of the fussy cuts I've got, and I thought, oh, that one fits lovely in that window. So I'm going to make this one a flower fairy one to sort of prompt me to carry on using, you know, finally do it. Now for this journal, you're going to end up, for this tag rather, you're going to end up, or even if you did journaling card, you're going to end up cutting the top off, and I didn't want to waste the top, so I covered it. And my idea is that this would, if this was a page in a journal, you'd stick it around like that, so you'd have a pocket on both sides. Now I covered this is collaged with scraps. This is a masterboard that I did, and then I've printed, but I printed it on 120 GSM paper, might even be 140, no, it's 120, and then I put book page on the inside. So now it's like card, so it's a bit thick. So I have, rather than collage, I'm using some masterboard printout. So for this, I use this, so that's much thicker paper. And I printed on the other side because the idea was I was going to maybe do envelopes or whatever. So these are just on ordinary copy paper, so it's about 80 GSM. And so I thought I'd use these rather than have the ridges that you get. And just to make it a bit quicker, my ink started running out, so I got a couple of purpley effect sheets, which I quite like. So save those for a project that I'm going to do purple things in. So I've got choices here with these sheets. This is a masterboard. This is a digital collage that I did. So that is what we're going to use, and that will be much thinner for that, and I won't back the other side. Okay, so let's get started. So we need to trim it down. So I think when, did she leave? No, I think she opened up both sides. Yes, she did. So I'm gonna, so I think this one was about 6 inches. I'm gonna go slightly taller than 6 inches. So no measuring. So I'm gonna give ourselves a little bit of a margin either side of that. I kind of want to do about 3.5 ish. Might go a little bit more there. I think that's quite a nice, I think I might chuck those, might not yet. So we're then left with this. So I'm going to cut it down to about, so so an A4 sheet is about there. So if I was doing a normal size journal, which is half an A4 sheet, I'm going to go to about 5.5, I think, on that. Yeah. I did have it open on the bottom. It's just the way it was open. But this one's not open on the bottom, but that's okay. And then I just folded it down like so, and then fold the other one to kind of match it. Not that it matters because it's on a different page, but there we go. I say my other one was completely open, but this one isn't, so that's okay. I'm not going to cover the inside. I'll overlap the paper a bit, so that's ready. I'm just going to use my glue stick to glue this bit down. It will then be covered, so it doesn't have to be a really strong glue. I used glue stick on my collaging as well because I knew I was going to sew round, and I wanted to sew round this bit, and I'd stuck the back on, which was a bit of a rookie mistake. Although I quite like that. It kind of frames your journaling, and I'd probably put a prompt up there when I knew when I was going to use this, and I might put word on the front of this as well. But for the moment, it's just staying like that. So give this a bit of a crease, and then I kind of went with my glue any bits that needed sticking down, because you have funny bits on envelopes, don't you? So glue them down. I think that's the only bits. Oh, didn't do down to the edge there very well, but that's okay. So that's that waiting to be done. So then we've got this. So that little gorgeous fairies going on the inside there. So we want to cover the back. Emma used book page. I'm going to use some of my collage sheets, so which is what I did for mine. I've got a sheet that is not there. It was when I started. I've obviously moved it out of the way accidentally. Oh, you get all organised. There it is. No, it's not. You get all organised, and then somehow you lose bits of paper. Oh dear me. Well, I have absolutely no idea where that sheet of paper has gone. Anyway, I found this piece, which I thought I could stick on there. I quite like it. It was just looking for the tones of colour that will go with this one. And then that will sit on it quite nicely. So we'll get that ripped off and stuck down. Oh, do I want the numbery bits? I quite like that actually. Yeah, I might move it over a little bit so I've got like numbery bits behind. Yeah. So I'm just going to rip with my ruler. So I'm going to take that edge off. This is thicker paper, but I want a little bit of thicker paper on there because it's quite flimsy. I want to give it some stability. So we'll go down there. I've made it slightly shorter. So that can glue on there. I'm going to cover the whole bit, as I say, to give it some stability. That gives us a nice little top there. It's quite nice for a bit of collage. let's be helpful for the next time I use that. That'll go nice in my collage scraps. I decided to get myself a little cello bag, and as I create little offcuts like that, stick it in, and then I'm ready for collaging. So I'm going to keep that to hand because I'm bound to have some more. These bits, however, can be binned. So that one simply is going to get glued in there, ready. So that is a quick job. To glue it, I'm going to use a bit of glue stick, and then I might just go around the edges. And some proper glue. I am going to sew, so I'm not that bothered, to be fair, but I do like the stiffness that collage adds to paper. So I will add this. Let's put it the right way up, because otherwise that would be disaster. So there we go. Give it a bit of a spread. That bit. And then we get our little flower fairy and make sure they go in the right place. Love it. Love, love, love. So this was in a book, and I just used my scan and cut. I've got quite a few sort of flower fairy things, and I'm just going to ink around the edges. And I've got like a birthday book. I got a decoupage kit from a charity shop. I've got several actual flower fairy books. So, and in the books, they're kind of on nice little rectangles. So they make nice little journaling cards as they are. Right, so we are, I can't really see, so I'm going to measure about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. I can see there, 1643, about there. So that's about the bottom of the window, and then just above there is about the top. Oh, I can see that, you Burke. Yeah, I'll be out in a sec. So you need to sit in between those two marks. Yeah, about there. Yeah, so let's make sure between there and there. So we'll stick you down. Yeah, so I made sure that I had enough that would be like nice journaling cards, and then I fussy cut. I didn't fussy cut, I used my standard cut to fussy cut, so that I thought they'd look nice on the edge of pages, on top of tags, or indeed like I'm using here. I want to stick it down properly. I don't want it rising up at all. There we go. So we'll go in above that, inside of that, down there. I think. Oh, we'll go up a little bit more. Up, 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 up. And over. Over a bit more. Perfect. That's where we want it. So I'm just going to get my, because I have managed to get a little bit of glue on that. There we go. How lovely is that? So now I'm going to, so I got these sheets, so I did 2 per 1. So they're kind of that size, and I shrunk it down 2 per 1, although not that sheet. And so I did think that some of these patterns were quite big for going on here, that maybe I'd want slightly smaller patterns to go around it. That was my thoughts. And so I'm gonna just rip a strip like that, kind of like the fluffy end around our window. Well, that is upside down now. I might do it again so it's not upside down. Don't normally worry about directional things like that, but I am in this instance. There we go. We'll have that. So that is the edge of one and the beginning of another. So we'll take that off there. So we can take that one off. That side. That's glued down there. Oh, that was nearly going to the window. That would have been, it would have been all right, because I'd have just put a strip all the way up. But actually, I want that there, like so. That now matches. I don't want that. That's got cocoa in it. Let's do that bottom bit there. So let's do that down there. So you can just collage. I just didn't want to. I thought something quicker. And if you've got digitals, actual paper, just wanted to give you the alternative way of doing it. I also like to put my own spin on things that I see. Yep, we'll have him there. Let's take that end off. Yep, so let's do a bit of inking and a bit of sticking of those two, and then we'll just do the side bits. So I want that inked a bit. And we'll just use our glue stick. So it's just thin copier paper. And I'll just, drop my glue stick. I'll forget I've dropped my glue stick in a sec, because I've got a memory like a goldfish. And I'll be looking for it in a second. You'll have to tell me. It's on the floor, Jez. It's on the floor. There we go. Stick that one in. Do the same with tops. On the floor, Jez. It's on the floor. Got it. So, yeah, so this makes it a lot quicker. I've just recently bought one of Tracy Fox's compendium paper. I didn't ink this, did I? And I love it, and that would be a good use for that. on something like this. My fingers are now terribly gluey because they're on the back of this very gluey sheet, because I'm an idiot. There we go. There we are. Let's rub them down. You've seen it doesn't matter that the original envelope is got lots of writing on because I'm just covering it up. So we'll come down here. I'm going to stop there where that blue is. I'm going to cover that corner bit up. So that'll do nicely. Let's remember to glue it. I did have fun collaging, and actually I didn't think about the collaging, so that can be very, very quick as well. So we got that ready to go up there. Let's have another piece for the other side. Do we want it virtually the same size? No, I need it a little bit thinner, just a tad thinner, so I can't use that as the thing. Look, I'm looking for, I might take that little side bit there because that'll be a bit different, won't it? Or I could just take that little side bit. Where does that end? Yeah, it does more or less end where that bit ends. So we'll go up there a tad. Because I've sort of mixed and matched the same bits, I just wanted to avoid having, well, I couldn't use that bit because it's that bit upside down. I didn't want something with a Cadbury, so I had to think about that a bit. So we'll take a bit off the end there, so that's got a ripped fluffy edge. Going up to there, just the other side of that red line there. And then we've got some ledger paper to sort of match the ledger. Well, it doesn't match because it's not the same piece of ledger paper, but we've got similar going on the inside. Yeah, like in that. So we'll get that inked. Little tiny tads of scrap to go in my little scrap bag. Oh, I suddenly had this fear that it wasn't filming. That's happened loads. Not that it would be a disaster. It's only ever a disaster if I've used my last sheet of paper and then it's like, oh, I can't film that again. There we go. So we'll stick them down. That's really, really similar. Oh, I can't swap it over, it's different size. I can break it up with a bit of washi tape. We'll put it that side. Yeah, we'll do it that way round and then it's all right. bit of glue on here. Looking good. I'm quite pleased now with how it's all looking. The because it's a digital collage, the edges aren't inked, obviously, because it's just joined together on screen. So that's the only thing I haven't worked out how to kind of cover that. Oh, that needs to come down because it needs to cover that bit there. That's there we are. So that's that, and I can do a little bit of inking around that so that although the edges aren't inked, I can kind of add a bit of ink in. That's cool. So I've got some lovely washi. I think that might work. This is a retired Stampin' Up washi, which I love. So I might get the odd bit of this. I'm going to add some glue stick to it there. Put a bit down there. Is it Emma? I'm forgetting her name now. I did write it down. Yeah, Emma sort of used washi on sort of bits where there was joins to break it up a bit. And that's what I did on my other one, or if there was a bit that was, you know, sort of like the same colour. So I put washi there, and there. Put some up at the top. I like now that Cadbury matches the green. That was a fluke. It wasn't deliberately done, but it works really well. So that's that bit. So I want to sew around it. So I say last time I stuck that on the back and then I sewed, but I'm going to now just sew around this bit. But to sort of hold it in place, I am going to glue it in place. So it doesn't all go Pete-tong. And then I'm going to put a bit of glue around this window and around the edge. Give that a nice there we go. There is a bit there that probably could do with trimming, so we'll give that a little trim. There we are, that now needs a bit of an ink. So I'm going to sew around there, and that will give that a little bit more of a pop. So that's that bit all the way sewn round. So now I'm going to stick my two-dyed paper on the back. So I'm just going to glue the whole of this down, then we'll make the tag shape. So a little bit of glue stick. Don't know why I do that, because actually just using the collar would be fine. There's a big blob there in the corner that I don't really want. And this is 120 GSM paper that I'm using here. So I'm trying to line it up around those two edges so that there is less cutting that I have to do. I folded this paper. I often do that. That's not even where it's glued, it's there. Just to give interesting prints. Managed to move glue all the way over that. There we go. Collard doesn't dry instantly, so there might be a little bit of wigglage going on still, so I have to be careful with that. Wipe off some of that glue. And you get a bit of indentation there of the sewing and the envelope. On the other one there was indentation from like all the scraps of the collage, but I like that. I think it's a nice look. So now, because now it's quite thick, we can rest our blade there and cut round. Or you can rest a ruler and rip. But I'm cutting. There we go. So we need to, once again, ink on the other side. Especially around the bottom where all the layers are coming together, but it is going to be sewn, so it doesn't matter. Right, so I'm going to bring in my tab, my tag punch. Now I did this with the nice fancy bits. I think I'm going to do this with the flat bits. I'm going to do the hole first. I find it a little bit easier because you've got more of a straight edge for leaning up. There's like a bit that you butt up there. I kind of eyeball for the center so that there's the same overlap at each side. You are going through quite a lot of layers. There we go. So, and I'm going to do my corner there. You can of course just cut these yourself with scissors. There we go. So I am now going to sew all the way around that. So that's it all sewn round now. So now the back, unlike that one, hasn't got that bit. So I just used some sari silk there for the top, and I think I'm going to do that again. So just about that much. Sari silk was a Christmas present. Both my boys bought me a pack each. Yeah, they obviously didn't confer, but I said it's no matter, I will get through it. And then I forget to use it, so there we go. Lovely jubbly. And then I could add words and different things, but I quite like that. I could add some butterflies on there if I wanted to. But I'm thinking if I'm going to add any extra little embellishments, I'm going to do it when I'm ready to put it in a journal. So now I want to cover this. It's not going to be quite so easy as this one because this one was completely opened out, so I was able to do a flat section, but you know, no matter, we'll get it sorted. So I'll stick that to that. I'm actually thinking going to repeat the pattern. I'm going to do it up there. Yeah, I'll do it in that corner there because I don't want the pattern repeated, not really. Bit of that. Going to leave gap at the top because I want it to fold over. So yeah. So we'll come down a tad, go up to the edge, put down a tad. I don't know why I'm doing this on my fancy little mat because it's just covering it in glue, aren't I? Which I don't want to do. I think it's quite nice using the same paper because then it all matches. I could fold up at the bottom actually as well. It's not quite there on the edge, like a Burke. So I'm going to take that in, fold it over so that it will just tuck in there. We will do a slit there so that that can fold over. That'll work nicely. And this will be a nice little pocket for it, and I can make another one to go on the other side. Tag, that is, not pocket, because this pocket will go on the other side. Got to take a little bit off, slivers off the side. So we'll just ink the edges. Oh. Oh, it is at the edge, it's just there. You can just see a little bit of that side poking over. So I might just cut it off. Yes, cooking on gas. Right. So now we just need to do the same for the back, but we don't need it. Take that bit off. Stick it like that, and then we'll just cut the bottom. Yeah, you can tell like I haven't 100% thought this out, because the first time I did it, it was open flat, so it was much easier. Because you would just get a long piece and stick it in a oneer, which I could have split open the bottom and done that, or even split the sides and done it the other way, but I didn't, so that's the end of that. Most of that's upside down. So go outside there. Just take a little bit off there. Just do that so that can fold down. This can fold over. So it gives you a little bit of strength at the edge of the pocket there without completely covering the inside of the pocket, because you won't actually see it. And then I'll snip this off. Okay, so I'll just stick these. That corner bit don't want to come out now. I think there was probably enough glue on it to stick it down, and the edge of this would keep it down anyway. So that's that. That is one of my ideas for an envelope. I've got loads. I have done quite a few. It was just, this struck me as such a wonderful, genius idea that I just had to do it straight away. but I'll bring you my other ideas later. I've done a few practicing with junk mail envelopes before I let loose on my precious American ones. There we go. So that will go on a journal page like that round the corner, and then you just need to glue up. It's really not going around that corner very well. There we go. Let's get a page of a journal. Right, I've got my altered book ideas book here. It will be too big for this because I've made it wider. So we'll do it that way because it's too long. So yeah, that will just go round a page like that. And then we've got our tag to pop in it. And you can add things to the pocket front if you want to. So that's my idea from Emma Duran, and then I just did the little extra of making a pocket. So if your envelope's open, your pocket will look like that. If it's not open, you'll have a ready-made tuck. And if you want to, looking at that, I might be inclined to take a bit of washi tape and put it round the edge. I've just dropped the lid. Well done, Jazz. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue stick on both sides. And then take the washi. Can't find the end. I'll snip it over, and I can do it on both sides, and then that gives you'll know that the end's done. You can do it along the bottom as well, except I folded the bottom over so you don't need to, but I'm not going to do it on the other side because it's not yet sort of stuck down, and actually it's not going to go to the middle of the page. So it'll be stuck down to the page. So yeah, hope you like that. So I'm just putting this in. After I filmed, I then found myself just making another. I'm getting a little bit obsessed. I'm just loving them. So I made this one. And with a bit of an autumn theme. I haven't sewn it yet. And I just what I did with this one was I made a template out of well, I took the window out of one of my envelopes, and then traced around it on some cards so that I had a hole ready, and then out of one of my sheets I cut the hole out so that it would just lay in one piece. So this is just one piece that I've laid over it. Obviously there was a bits that you could see around the edges, so I just framed the edges. Now I've got a die that cuts this one out, but this is just the edge of a notebook. I just ridiculous the amount of scraps I save now. But Ed was throwing away a notepad. So he's got an A4 ring sort of spiral bound notepad with perforations so he can rip out each sheet. Anyway, he'd emptied it and he was binning it, and he kind of just looked up and he saw my face, which was saying, "Are you really going to throw that away, Ed?" And he went, "Do you want this then?" I went, "Yes, please." And it had you know, a front and back cover, which was actually made of plastic and quite stiff, so I thought, yeah, I could use that, cut it down, make notebooks. And had a bit of thick card as well, and then all of these, and I went, oh, they'd be really interesting in journaling, so that's what I've used to cover the edges. I'd cut these ones out first, and then I remembered, oh, they look a little bit like What's Left Behind and a ring binder, and there it is. And this is the other die I've got, which looks again like this, but like they've been ripped out. And I was going to put these down the side, and then I remembered I had these, so I thought, oh, I'll use those instead. So yeah, loving them. They're in my little scrap drawer. And then the pocket on this one, it depends how you've opened your envelope. Sometimes when my envelopes come in, I slip them open that way, and sometimes I slip them open that way. And so I was left with a bit for this, like that. It is so much easier to cover when they're like that. And then I just used a full piece from this sheet so it matches, and that is a lot easier to deal with. So I think the idea was I was going to loop that around so it could go anywhere. That it doesn't have to be on the corner. I can put that in the middle and just glue down those two sides on each side. I could even then put that in my sewing machine, and I could sew. That would be quite nice. And then that's ready to go in there. So yeah, I'll carry on with the video now. Sorry for the interruption. I'll link to Emma's video where you can see actual collaging like I did in that one, as opposed to using printed paper, but I just wanted to give you alternatives. Okay, thank you. Do like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you like my video, please like it. It helps YouTube know that I'm making videos that people like, and then more people might see me and help my channel grow. Thank you very much. See you all again soon.